Today I'll be talking about Java in general and explaining why strings in Java are immutable. For simplicity, I'll assume that you have some basic understanding of Java programming language. Before I proceed, let me just describe what are the immutable objects. So when objects created in Java cannot be modified, or if its state cannot be changed, then those objects are called immutable. We will be trying to find out the answer why strings are immutable, and let's try to do this by reverse psychology and understand or assume that strings are mutable and see what happens. In Java, I think every program uses strings object, and be it a small program or a lengthy program. And as the size of the program increases, the number of string objects created also increases. That means more requirements for string objects to be stored from in the memory, and in order to limit the memory usage due to these string literals, there is a concept called string literals or string pool that is being introduced by Java developers. So let's understand what are the string pools. So for example, or consider this white area in my screen as a Java heap, wherein all the Java objects of my Java program during runtime will be created in the memory. So let's mark it as a Java heap, and within this Java heap we will create our string pool. So this is my string pool. Let's name it as well. This is my strings pool. For example, in my Java program, I have following Java objects like employee1 first name, employee1 last name, employee2 first name, employee2 last name. And let's assume that my first employee name is Laura QL and my second employee name is Sarah QL. Because there is nothing in my strings pool at this moment, all these literals will get created in the string pools. So let's create Laura QL, then Sarah. Because QL literal is already present, so the new literal for QL will not get created. And now pass the reference of these literals to associate the object. So let's do this way, let's do this way, let's do this way, and let's do this way. So far so good. So this is how string literals or string pool works. Consider a scenario wherein my second employee Sarah changed her last name from QL to Arvis. So she will go ahead and change her last name. Because her last name object is pointing to QL, it will be modified here. But see, because she changed her last name and it was also pointed by employee one's last name, the first employee's last name also gets changed, which is not required, and it is against the fundamentals of programming language. So in order to keep string pool concept, it is must that the string object's value doesn't get changed, and the object's state doesn't get changed. Hence, we must make the string objects as immutable. So this proves that string objects are immutable. So once we finalize or understand these objects are immutable, so how this problem will be solved? What will happen is, it will not change this literal, uh, but rather create a new literal here with name called always, and just change the reference of the second objects of employee2's last name to always, and employee2's last name will get updated. This way we'll also save the memory due to the string literals, as well as will not have an issue with updating the last name. So we understand now string objects are immutable. We also understand that there are multiple ways that string objects can be created or instantiated. Not all ways of instantiating string objects creates literals in the string pool. Let's take an example. When we create string objects by directly assigning it to the string literals, this way it does use string pool concept. That means a new literal test will not get created in the string pool if the test literal is already present there. So in the another string objects, the test literal will not get created. However, if we create object using new keyword, irrespective of the string literal test is present in the string pool or not, always a new literal will be created, because the object created using new keyword doesn't use string pool concept. If we want to enforce the objects those are being created using new keyword to use string pool concept, we should use the method called object.intern. So now even this object will use string pool to make use of the object already present there. I hope this is clear now. Do let me know if you have any question. Post your questions in the comment section below. Do like my video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Have a nice time.